You're listening to Myers-Briggs Question Corner with Edythe Richards.
Which Myers-Briggs types make the best leaders? With an increasing focus on effective leadership, I'm not surprised that this question came up. Which Myers-Briggs type makes the best leaders? Okay, folks, realistically, you know that there isn't really one best leader type. Different leaders are going to have different qualities that appeal to different people. You can Google effective leadership qualities or great leaders, but what we're really talking about here is leadership as it relates to the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, a personality inventory that has absolutely no bearing on anyone's ability to lead effectively. Now, there are certain Myers-Briggs types who gravitate towards leadership roles more than others. According to a study of nearly 30,000 people in a leadership program at the Center for Creative Leadership, there's an overrepresentation of ISTJ, INTJ, ENTJ, and ESTJ types in the program. Similar studies have shown that TJ, or thinking judging types, are overrepresented in many leadership roles. T's typically make up 60 to 80% of people in leadership groups, according to psychometrics.com. This isn't really surprising. Characteristics connected with thinking include analytical, logical, reasonable, questioning, critical, and tough-minded. Characteristics connected with judging include systematic, decisive, scheduled, and methodical. Conventional wisdom often equates effective leadership with traits and skills such as clarity of purpose, goal-oriented, confident, and decisive. And surprise, most organizations are structured in a way in which they favor logical, rational, and decisive behaviors. Because these traits come most easily to ENTJ, ESTJ, INTJ, and ISTJ types, these are the folks who will naturally assume those positions. As research has shown us again and again, we self-select into career fields and into organizations that best fit our own natural preferences. Certain Myers-Briggs types, because of their nature, are just given more opportunities to lead. Therefore, when we think of the quintessential leader, we often think of ENTJ and ESTJ types. At least this is the case for me. It's been said that ENTJs, for example, cannot not lead, and in my own interactions with ENTJ types, I've certainly found this to be the case. But let's take it a step further. There are some leaders who naturally fall into a leadership role behind the scenes and out of the spotlight. For example, ISTJ and INTJ types. These are the leaders who may not be as vocal or overtly assertive, but are really the ones pulling the strings in the background. Does this mean that other Myers-Briggs types, say INFPs or ISFJs, are terrible leaders? Absolutely not. Different Myers-Briggs types are going to bring different qualities of leadership to a team or organization. For example, INFP leaders are going to be more likely to value their people over data and metrics. They'll lead if it benefits their people, not for power or profit. They'll be visionary rather than tactical leaders and more motivational coaches rather than micromanaging everyone's time. ISFJs, on the other hand, will bring a different set of skills to a leadership position. With a preference for feeling, they will also be very dedicated and supportive to their people, and their sensing judging preference means they'll be task-oriented, attuned to details, well-organized, and reliable. Can any Myers-Briggs type learn behaviors associated with effective leadership? Yes, they can. An analogy I and other type practitioners like to use is the concept of handedness. We're born either as a right-handed or left-handed person. I was born as a right-handed person myself. If I was forced to use only my left hand, I might become better at it, but I'd never reach my full potential with my left hand. That's because it will never truly be natural for me. It's the same with behaviors. If I'm forced to be a critical, tough-minded person, yes, it will become easier over time, but I'll never be my true, authentic, best self. If I want to be in a leadership role that requires these behaviors, I'll have to either compromise this part of myself or learn how to flex my style to communicate my point of view to others who have a different preference from my own. And isn't that the true meaning of effective leadership? Let me talk for just a minute about what qualities actually make a good leader. And this really depends on who you ask. The military says enthusiasm and initiative, judgment, justice, and decisiveness, and these are qualities most associated with the ESTJ type. But if you Google effective leadership, you'll also come across qualities such as humility, patience, empathy, and flexibility, and these are qualities most associated with the INFP type. Furthermore, there's other leadership qualities that have absolutely no relevance to one's Myers-Briggs type. For example, any Myers-Briggs type can demonstrate integrity, can learn from and move on after making a mistake, can communicate to persuade others and recognize and use the unique value of other people, and have the self-awareness to work on their weaker areas. To sum it all up, any person of any Myers-Briggs type has an equal chance of being an effective leader. But different Myers-Briggs types will bring different inherent leadership qualities to the table. But everyone, regardless of their Myers-Briggs type, has leadership qualities they'll need to work on. Our personalities don't entirely dictate the way we'll behave as a leader, but our personalities will play a part in influencing the choices we make as leaders. Active self-awareness is crucial to leaders everywhere, and the Myers-Briggs assessment can be enormously beneficial in helping us understand ourselves and our natural leadership strengths and blind spots.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you'd like to hear more, or you'd like to submit a question yourself, then you can find us at www.atopcareer.com. Until next time. MBTI and Myers-Briggs are registered trademarks of the MBTI Trust.